Oh, Foxy, it's your birthday. Not for real, just for play. This is Cree Summer, and Moana Nui will be right back.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this month's edition of Moana Nui After Dark presents Whatcha Watchin. Tonight, we will be covering the Acolyte, and I will bring in my uncanny cohorts. Good evening, ladies and gents. How was everyone?
Great. Come at me with full force.
I love it. With all your strength.
All your strength? All my strength?
All your strength.
So, as I said, we are covering the Acolyte tonight. This is your only warning.
That's right. Spoilers. We will be spoiling.
5 episodes so far. And we're spoiling all of them. So if you don't want to hear anything, stop this now. Come back later. But this is your only warning. First class only. So on the onset, because I want to talk about the beginning to the end of the show. I want to start from the outside in. And Joy, something that Joy and I talked about last night. The Jedi are trash.
I just changed my name.
Damn sure is.
The Jedi are trash. I just want to start there.
I just changed my name down there to the Jedi's ain't shit.
We always known that though.
No,
I think we once upon a time, like when Luke Skywalker was learning the Force, we thought they were like helpful little monks that had been persecuted to the ends of the earth. You know, now you're trying to find out that they ain't shit.
The minute the Jedi said attachments are bad, you have to let everything go.
You have to know you're in a cult.
Something was wrong right there. I'm not gonna say that statement let me know they ain't shit, but that statement told me something ain't right.
No, what told me that they ain't shit is that you coming onto my planet, looking and spying at me, telling me, oh, that wasn't there on her head before. No, why are you on my planet?
Right.
Why are you here?
Why are you in my child's face in the woods?
No.
And why do you care? And what is this nonsense about we have a right to test all children? No, you don't. What about bodily autonomy? What's up with that?
Mm-mm.
Doesn't exist.
You don't have that in space. Come after all of y'all.
Nah,
and
not
I
at
know
all.
he did something. I know we jumping ahead, but I'm like, okay, what did you do?
You always know that when somebody say, "Let me explain," they done some bullshit.
But to loop back around though, did I always think the Jedi was good? Up until a point, and then I was like, well, maybe they're just peacekeepers for just the sake of filling a void. But now I'm like, so the original trilogy, I'm like, all right, the Jedi seemed like, you know, they were a cool group of people or whatever. And then you had the prequel trilogy, and I'm like, something don't seem right here. Y'all doing way too much to Anakin. And as I watched the Clone Wars series and Rebels, it became more like.
And now you understood why Ahsoka left.
Right.
Like,
well, if you look at it from a certain point of view, what I told you was the truth. Really?
But this series
is just in your face. In all the previous movies, it was there. Most people just didn't see it.
And why all
one of those who just didn't see it?
Hardcore Star Wars fans are all upset because they're showing that the Jedi ain't shit and that the star is black. If y'all don't leave Rue alone,
I know. They tried to kill Rue during the Hunger Games. Like, I remember the speech. Like, is it wrong that I don't care if she dies because she's black now? Like, wow. First of all, she was black in the books. Learn to read. But then the hate that they put on like a 12-year-old, y'all.
Yes, Jedi cops. Jedi are cops. Yep. They are 5-0.
Force using pigs. Yep.
But this is, I had to go and look at the timeline to see where the hell the Acolytes at.
Where am I hearing this static from? Do y'all hear this?
I hear it too.
Is somebody moving around?
Nope. Teresa, could that be you?
I guess it could. I don't know why it would be.
It's all right. But yeah.
Or was it?
I don't know.
No.
Was it Furious?
No.
You good, dude?
No. Yeah. No, I was muting and turning my stuff off to see if it was me.
Okay. Well, let's continue on.
Yeah.
Yeah, coming to planets, testing kids. Look, you want to test kids for the ability to be Jedi? Okay, cool. But why you got to take them too? What if they don't want to go?
Right.
Thank you.
That's the other thing. The children never make it back to their families.
Yeah.
Because the whole zero attachment thing.
But I mean, they're born into a family. You got attachments. Hey, Latoya, you got attachments from jump, right? Somebody fed you for the first 4 years of your life.
Right.
And again, this is indoctrination, is when you take a child and bring them up in ways to in your belief system with no other options, you know.
Church.
So a dark side because of okay, yeah, that's a little bit of the in-depth lore. I ain't read all those books.
I've always been a fan that said, even though the gray Jedi don't truly exist, to me, I've always said the gray Jedi is the only true path, because you can't be all light or all dark. It's just not possible.
Mm-hmm. And if you con yourself into believing that everything you do is good, you end up becoming the very evil you're trying to fight. Like, you become bad because you can't see that what you're doing is negative. The same way we saw Anakin thinking to the dark side behind trying to protect his family and protect the woman he loves. Who wouldn't do that? Who wouldn't? The dark side got to him first, you know?
He couldn't resist it.
Mm-hmm. And I also like this. Oh, first off, there's always you're absolutely right. There's always a gray area. I mean, when you try to do, all good and all evil, you end up oversimplifying things and either murdering a bunch of people that made a mistake or allowing a bunch of stuff to happen in the name of a greater good. The greater good is always some bullshit. Always.
Not according to Frozone's wife.
But you know what? Also, that whole let's talk chronology of the show. Episode 1, you got old girl running around. Well, okay, I just want to jump to episode 2. Witches. Let's talk about these witches.
No, go back to episode 1 because I need to understand how the hell Trinity got Game of Thrones me, and I hated that.
Right.
I'm like, why do I have a Game of Thrones moment every show that I watch? Come on now.
What I don't understand is how she got by a knife to the chest. You can't multitask. You can't save somebody and be like, force, like right up front.
Well, again, so this is before everything we know as far as what the Jedi are. So it would take them years, if not a couple of generations, to get to the point to where they can do the stuff we see in the 9 films that we have.
But Saul was able to do it.
Yeah.
He was I'm like, watching him fight, I was like, okay, dude, you're better than all the other masters?
He's better than everybody.
How you was able just to... I want to jump ahead, but that just got me like, okay.
But even Saul had his moments. Saul had his moments to where he was struggling to do basic stuff, where the things that you would be like, well, why can't he do such and such that we saw in this movie? Saw another Jedi do. So yes, I'm not trying to give them any type of credit or balance anything, but just like I look at it as like the kind of like the Jedi still learning the limits of their powers. Like we see one Jedi who's been in meditation for like 9 years.
No, James, remember, it's only 100 years before the Battle of Yavin or Yavin. So
right, and the Jedis have stationed themselves on every planet like
Right.
freaking overseers. No, they know all their powers. They know.
No, they don't.
what they can do.
You know what they can learn in 100 years?
In the span of Star Wars, 100 years is not that long.
I mean,
Again,
there's still
you got beings. How old was Yoda when he died?
900.
So 100 years really ain't much.
Yoda's alive in this
Exactly.
this universe. Where Yoda at? And here's something else I want to know, because I'm mad. I'm mad about a lot of things. How is it that Luke Skywalker can call out to his sister across galaxies and be like, Leia, and she's like, Luke is alive, and they go fly like a light year away and go pick him up. But Saul can't figure out that this chick, spoiler, that this chick that he just walked away with is not the same chick he showed up with. How you don't know?
You know what? I think he knows.
I think so too. I think so too.
I think he knows.
Not the way he was acting.
Okay, but if he knows, then why? But then you have to accept that he is leaving Osha on the planet.
Right.
In the woods. He don't know if she alive or dead. What's that about?
But remember, his primary mission is to bring back the murderer of the Jedi.
Okay, well,
now,
killed two.
It's kind of shitty that he left his friend on the planet, but his
Right.
primary mission is to bring in the murderer.
And another thing. Okay, go ahead.
I don't think he knows, but I think that what's that little creature is going to be
Basil.
able to tell.
Yeah,
because
Basil.
she
Basil knows.
sacrificed her gadget.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think he
So
knows
gadget-
because he didn't call the name. When he asked, where is so-and-so, he said, where is your sister?
Ooh.
That's how I think he knows.
Okay.
Good point.
Fair.
Okay, Joy, did you peep this when Saul was dealing with the younglings? And the black youngling, am I overreaching? That the black youngling was able to sense fire?
Yeah, that was her as a kid.
That wasn't her.
That was Osha as a child.
That wasn't Osha. That wasn't Osha.
That was a
when
in episode
in episode 1, when what's her name? The one all in green. When she came in,
okay,
he was talking to the younglings. And at that
my bad.
point,
I put up the flashback.
Yeah, one of them. The last one talks that he.
Teresa, mute yourself.
I'm gonna do that.
Yes.
The last one said they see fire, and then you saw
okay.
his face, and he was like,
Are you sure that wasn't Osha?
that wasn't Osha.
It was not Osha.
That wasn't Osha.
Yeah, it wasn't.
That was one of the younglings.
So I don't know if they were sensing fire or if
he told them to reach out into the force, and what do you feel?
Yes.
Mm.
Okay.
So I'm like, why y'all had the little black one say that they see the fire? So that pissed me off. But then was that one seeing Osha's past? Or was he seeing into his mind?
That's what I'm thinking, is that he was seeing something that he is still ashamed of.
Mm-hmm.
And that he carries with him. Because like if you think about the dude that was meditating, he was just waiting on somebody to show up to kill him.
Yeah.
And he's
9
like, I'm
years.
waiting on you.
Yeah.
I know we did some bullshit.
9 years sitting in that position, floating above the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Not talking, not moving.
Did something that you couldn't. I mean,
That you're willing to commit suicide over. Why not just commit suicide 9 years ago? But okay.
He was young and impressionable.
True, because he was a Padawan.
Yep.
When he was there. And also, what I'm interested in now after finishing, because I just finished the last episode today, the most recent episode today, I'm trying to figure out who has been brainwashed. Like we know that, because I think it might be a little bit on both sides, because we know that Soul did something. he did something to old girl to make her think that her sister was the problem, and that her sister started a fire. We never see her sister actually set fire to anything else other than that book in the hallway. Then we hear a crash and a whoosh. We don't know what that was. I think they did come back in there. I think May is right that they did come in there and invade and try to steal them kids, and all hell broke loose. But there's no way with these women with all this power and all this thread force use gonna sit there and get smoke inhalation and pass out on the floor. They murdered everybody in there because they was dead before the fire got to them.
And I believe that they're not linked to the Sith, but they were following that rule of two law.
Yes.
So they were on the verge. To me, they were gray.
I don't know if they were gray. I felt more so they were kind of like.
Wait, who are we talking about right now?
We're talking about the witches.
I feel like the witches were like the Night Sisters.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think
they're
just the predecessors to the Night Sisters. Well, that's what I think.
That's my thought went as well.
The Night Sisters, yeah. Because remember, the Night Sisters. Can we talk about the Immaculate Conception of the twins? And yeah, that was something I wanted to bring up at a certain point too. But yeah, I'm thinking of the predecessors to the Night Sisters, especially when you see the female Darth Maul version, and I'm sorry I can't remember what her name is, but that's immediately what I thought about was because we never see a female version of Darth Maul until now.
Well, because
Mother Coral, yeah.
Thank you.
Digging into the animated series in the Clone Wars, there's like a 3 to 5 episode arc in which the Night Sisters govern the tribe of warriors that Darth Maul comes from.
Right.
And they talk about the selection process. And then during the series, they actually, when they find out Darth Maul is dead, they conscript his brother to be the next assassin to go out and kill Jedi, naming him Savage Opress. So they do go into that a little bit in Clone Wars.
Yeah.
And spoilers, Furious, I thought the Sith was actually the mother, Coral. That was my first belief.
I did too. I thought that it was going to be her, like burnt up and mad.
Until I saw the arms, and then I was like, "Oh, that's Kimor." I was like, oh, "Okay." I was like, it was between those two, but I was like, "No,
the reason I don't know that I would have gone with that is because when they were children, May wanted to please her mother so bad that I have a feeling if her mother would have just told her straight up, go murder all those Jedi, she would have done it. I don't think she would have had to have hidden her identity.
Yeah.
Good point.
That is fair. But I guess I was under the mindset that mom probably got disfigured so badly she had to wear a mask.
That's what I was thinking at first.
That's what I thought.
Because I think that you see everybody there at some point land on the floor except that one. So like I still feel like she's alive out there. She may be alive out there somewhere because we don't see her.
Which episode was that when we saw all the witches in their dead?
Episode 3.
That's episode 3? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I mean, I know we were all pretty much making the assumption that Soul wipes some memories because they made a comment. Matter of fact, the dude made a comment when we thought he was just the little, fixer guy. He's like, don't do the mind wipe thing to me. There was no reason for him to say that other than foreshadowing, right? And so I'm assuming that the Jedi did do some mind wiping to what's her face? To Osha. That doesn't mean that he didn't do something to May.
Right.
No, because why does May think that her sister is dead when her sister was still alive when she fell? Why would she think her sister was dead?
They both thought each other was dead. They didn't know each other was alive until Osha felt May first.
Right.
Yeah.
And then May didn't believe Osha was alive until she actually saw her.
But my thing is, if you can, well, I know that I guess this developed over time, but now they're all in each other's dreams and talking, May, Osha, y'all didn't look for each other for 10 years. You try? No. You just
I mean, if you assume
you fell. I would have assumed automatically that
You did.
Yeah.
I watched you fall down a pit. Granted, somebody could have saved you with the force further down, but from my vantage point, I got grabbed from a catwalk. You fell off said catwalk, and the last I saw you, you was falling.
But Soul said we both saw her body, or we both saw her die, or something like that. And I was like, so that's when I was like, you lying? Because I mean, she's alive, so clearly we both didn't see her.
We both saw her die. That's what he said. Yeah.
But then he later changed his statement.
He's like, nobody can survive that.
Statement and said presumed dead.
And also, why the Jedi keep trying to cover up stuff? If y'all all about truth and light, y'all show enough lying, lies of omission, wiping minds and everything, trying to maintain this lily white, no pun intended, image that you do no wrong. And like, oh, the Jedi, because I loved in the first episode where Trinity, what's her name, Carrie Moss was like, the Jedi don't attack unarmed people. She's like, yeah,
you do.
I'm like, ooh, the Jedi did some bullshit. I did immediately. I was like, oh, they did some bullshit, and I wanted to see how it went. I'm digging this series so far. I didn't watch a few other things that have come through in the Star Wars verse. I don't watch a whole lot of stuff in Star Wars, but this is a really good show.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I'm just miffed because the first episode was well done, because I'm thinking Osha basically has split personality.
That's what I thought too.
Because I'm like, what do you mean you don't remember what you do? Like, we just saw you walk in and just Trinity like in 5 minutes, like light work.
And see, I was thinking shapeshifter.
I wasn't thinking a twin.
Right.
I immediately thought twin because I saw the spiral thing on the girl's head, and then Osha didn't have that, and I was like, oh, twin. That was the first thing I thought.
Yeah, they did do a good job of like her bangs trying to like cover it up so you couldn't see it, but I mean, if you
but then Dara knew who she was once she saw it.
Right.
Because she remember they interrupted that ceremony the first time.
Right.
Very much so. But yeah, the Jedi trash.
Okay, so can we yell about that fucking hair? I'm like, if another black character gets the hairstyle.
Oh, the Killmonger?
Yes. Why? Yard's
hairstyle, yes.
I don't want to see another damn hairstyle like that. I just wanted to go work for Lucas every time I saw him, because all I kept seeing was Killmonger. I was like, get the hell.
I'm mad at everybody involved with Black Panther for putting that Killmonger style into the multiverse.
So now every black male character has
something else to do besides a fade or long dreads. Like, oh, we'll do the sassy bop, you know.
As long as they don't bring back the Jerry curl, I'm good.
I mean, it's like the male version of the Halle Berry cut. Remember when everybody had that?
Yes.
Yes, it's the male version of that.
Well, Playboy, I don't know what to tell you.
How about you look really good with it too? You know, everybody can't rock it, but somebody. Oh, Static Shock.
Yes,
you're right. He did have a style.
Well, no, he didn't have a fade.
No,
he just had short dreads, right?
Yeah, he had a dread afro, locks, but it wasn't.
Yeah,
faded.
It wasn't.
Killmonger had that fade, and the
right. And like lean to one side type. Yeah.
It's like he took a Gumby cut and twisted it down.
Right. Exactly. That part. Oh.
It didn't bother me though. Like I didn't really think about the fact that was another Killmonger cut until you said it. And I was like, oh, it is. But again, you know, people rock that Halle Berry cut for or if you're not black, the Demi Moore for a decade.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I guess.
Oh yeah, all that Friends.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stand you. She said, "Took the Gumby."
I mean, you know, I like to give a good visual.
Oh, and since we were just talking about it, either LaToya or Playboy, I'm sorry, I don't remember which one of you mentioned it, but yes, the fact that the twins were created
yes,
kind of like somebody else that we know 100 or so years later. I'm wondering, how does that factor in to their entanglement with each other? Like, you know, as far away as they are.
Was Anakin created, or was he just...
Anakin's father is never identified nor mentioned. And remember, in episode 1, I can't remember his mother's name, but she said he has no father. The Force created him.
Oh, I didn't remember that. I was too busy hating Jar Jar Binks to hear anything that happened in that movie.
So I'm wondering, how much is that going to factor in? Again, like I said, with the reason that they can reach each other over these long distances. Anakin's father is the Force, yeah. And yeah, so like I said, I'm wondering, how is that going to factor into them reaching each other, them knowing all this kind of stuff? Because if the Force creates you and you're twins, that's got to be some special kind of bond.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm waiting for them to get into that background as far as like delving into that specifically, because they haven't. A lot is assumed through the dialogue we have, but we don't have visual concrete. Like, yeah, we know, because the two moms talk about like, well, what if the question of how they were born comes to be, then what would you do? You know,
but I do think that it's different. Like if Anakin's mom was like, the Force created him, you know, and then we have this whole like Anakin Jesus thing that people want to adhere to. If the Force created Anakin and there was no other manipulation, that might be divine occurrence, whatever you want to call it. But these two women, clearly they took some zygotes from each other, because you got a dark-skinned woman, you got a light-skinned woman, you got some yellow kids. That's all their DNA mixed together. And they may have manipulated. It's basically gene therapy versus spontaneous fertility, two different things. There is a way, and that might be why they might be in trouble for that, because they know they did some, you know, rogue science type stuff with the Force that they weren't supposed to do, versus a spontaneous thing that the Force just decided to do with Anakin.
Because remember, we find out they're on that planet. They're on the run. We find that out either in episode 1 or 2. I don't remember, but they're on the run. Mm-hmm. So they've done something. Thank you, 3. So they've done something. And Joy, it's probably exactly what you're saying, but we know they've done something that the Jedi or the Republic, somebody doesn't like it.
They don't like them because they feel that their power is evil.
Right. And evil is a point of view, right? Like they use their power to create life. How could that be wrong? Yeah.
They're following their way, which to me is on a borderline. That's why I said that they were gray, because they were on a borderline. Some of them didn't want to kill. Some of them did want to kill. Mm-hmm. So, you know, you have to be that focused to where you need to understand right from wrong. And I think Mother, what was that? What I wrote down? What was Mom's name? Anisha. Mother Anissa.
Anastasia, and it's more syllables.
Anastasia, yeah.
Anastasia. She was like, no fighting, like no fitting, no fighting.
Like, no fighting. But she almost mind blew that Padawan, just standing there, and all of a sudden his eyes went black, he all on the ground. And if she got that kind of power, girl, wipe everybody out. Quit worrying about this. If y'all already in the gray where you don't say we don't take life or whatever, wipe everybody that showed up, all of them, pop, right, gone, and you don't have these problems.
Yep, exactly, Joy.
Pretty much.
I'm sorry, Latoya.
Yeah. All of a sudden, maybe if she hadn't done that. My thing is, don't take no half measures. Either accept them in and feed them or whatever, you know, and be like, hey, we're not gonna let you have our daughters, but you know, thanks for coming by, or wipe them. But that whole show of force where she went when she made his eyes go black or whatever, and then back
they were like, oh, we didn't know this planet was inhabited.
Lies.
All powerful Force, the Jedi. Of course, you knew where we was inhabited. Lies.
Right. So if you know they're coming up here for no good reason, and you already shown them what you can do, wipe them all. Because the minute she did that, I feel like they were like, oh, they got power, they're strong. We're gonna come back in here at midnight and slice everybody. Since they're kind of reluctant to use weapons, like they might have the mind weapon and the Force pushing itself, but that's nothing against a lightsaber with a trained martial artist. So Interesting to see how that all played out. But yeah, either be nice to them the whole time or wipe them on day one. I'm just saying.
Yep.
I'm team wipe them out. Just
through you.
We don't need no new friends. We don't need no visitors. Beware of me. That's the sign in the front yard. Beware of me.
As soon as they saw all the Jedi gathered together, kill them. Just let's end it and be done.
She could have done it like Kendrick. Wop, 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 wop.
Why you like this?
I mean, you just show into their home.
Because if you let them leave if you let them live and let them leave, they're gonna tell someone else. Kill them all.
And we don't even know what did they even put in their mission report when they came back to the council, because all the council knows is the incident in which you retrieved Osha and the 4 of you went to that planet and something went down. Nobody outside of those 4 knew exactly what happened.
Right, which is where we get to get the story.
You know what's interesting is, since we sit here on the Moana Nui podcast, this is very similar to the story of the European colonizers coming down to Hawaii and getting their ass handed to them. I think it was Captain Cook, maybe.
Yes.
And they killed him because he was spreading all kinds of disease and tried to kidnap their leader and get him on the boat and threaten everybody. And they were like, no, we're not doing this. And they killed him. Actually, they shot spears at him and he jumped in the water, and then remember he couldn't swim. And they brought his body back to the land. The rest of his people went off. And before they were like, okay, we good. We're not going to bother y'all. Can we get our captain's body back? But they cremate bodies, in the islands. And so they're like, all we got left is like hands and feet. We cremated the rest, and maybe a skull. So they took those bones back to England and said, they're cannibals. They ate the captain. We should go down there and force in the interest of saving humanity. And of course, they came back with a load of guns and bullshit. And that's sounds a whole lot like the Jedi. You know what I'm saying? The Jedi colonizers. But again, if you believe that what you're doing is right, you can never be wrong, which means you can do all kind of evil bullshit in the name of this is the way. You know what I'm saying?
In the name of the British Empire, I plant my flag.
For the good of the people.
The people.
So again,
I think I want to be a Sith Lord. It sounds fun.
Come to the dark side. Because the Sith knows the rules.
Colonizers and gentrifies. Absolutely.
Again, Joy, do you see what it says under my name?
Let the hate flow through you.
Again, the dark side has cake and pie.
I do love some cake.
And we're not going to tell you that you can't hold on to your loved ones.
You can hold on to them. You can kill them. You do whatever the hell you want. We don't care.
It's a couple cousins. They ain't gonna make them. Once I get my lightsaber, I want like a blood red one, like dark red.
Oh my gosh! Why?
That's the other thing that I thought was kind of interesting. Because did you notice when they were fighting, there were certain times that their lightsabers got damaged?
Yeah,
and wouldn't quite work as normally. That's the first time I've ever seen that, and I'm wondering, is that going to be important?
It should, because I stumbled across a video last week that talked about how the kind of like the origin of the lightsabers. And this is probably like let's call it like second, third generation lightsaber that they have from what we know in the present, 9 trilogy films or whatever. The original lightsaber was basically the same handle, but it was connected to a battery pack on their hip via cord. So you couldn't, and people actually, and some stuck with using steel swords as like a resistance too, because like you're limited as far as your range of motion based on how long this cord is, and could this cord get in the way, or if somebody cuts the cord, your lightsaber's useless.
That is true.
So the fact that he's basically banging up their lightsaber handles and they're like fidgeting, like, snap, what? This thing went out?
Don't poke your eye out. But yeah.
I mean, Luke did it. Remember, Episode 4, Luke Skywalker looks straight into a lightsaber like this.
He did. He did.
They should have known he wasn't the one right then. You know what? And if we go all the way forward to which one was it? The Force Awakens. Luke tried to kill his own nephew.
Yes,
Jedi ain't been shit for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right. They probably haven't perfected the kyber crystals yet. Yeah. The
Hell,
process.
they may not even that weapon that kept taking out the lightsabers in the books. I watched it. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us what I haven't seen those books, so tell me what's so special about that weapon, because it looks like a red lightsaber, like any other one. And is there a reason that red takes out the others? Like from a spectrum standpoint, is the red a stronger color, or is it more hate? You know, more hate in his heart and makes his lightsaber stronger, or is it a particular way that he's hitting them?
I don't know if it's the red. I think it's just the fact that he's hitting them, and like we're saying, like they're still trying to figure out, you know, how do we craft this weapon?
Maybe his is better made than theirs.
Well, no, because there's a point where when he's fighting Saul towards the end, that either Saul or the youngling that he kills hits his lightsaber and it goes out.
Okay.
Did it go out, or did he just disarm him?
I'm pretty sure it went out.
It went out. It sparkled and it went out.
Yeah. And then he did something to it and twisted it and did something, and then he re-engaged it.
Yo, that youngling was. I was like, okay, May. First of all, you were able to kill a master, and you having a problem with this Padawan? What?
But she tricked the master. Like when she killed old girl, she did the whole bait and switch. Like you either got to save him or save yourself. And she, of course, saved. And my thing is, whenever they got all these masters that can do all this stuff and lean back and all everything, you can't stop a knife faster than that.
Right.
And why does it always have to be like a hold? You know, and then slowly bring it in. How weak are you? It's a 2-ounce knife. Throw that shit on the ground and save yourself. Why was that the weapon that took you out? You know, but other than that, she didn't kill the other guy. She made him kill himself. And then her master got to the Wookiee before she did. So she ain't really took out no masters.
Yo, speaking of making him kill himself, remember right before he drank the poison, he said, "I'm sorry. I thought we were doing the right thing."
Yes.
Yeah. What the hell is it that they did?
They did some attacks, because when he shows up on that planet as a Padawan, both his eyes work. Yeah. And now after 9 years of sitting still, he got this one slash and this one dead eye. He got attacked on that planet. Something happened.
Yes, he did. So when they in episode 3, after everything goes down, because they still don't show exactly what happens, Osha's on the ship. When she wakes up and she's talking to Saul, the other 3 walk in the background. You can clearly see the fresh wounds on his face. So someone got him good in that. Yeah.
Defensive wounds.
Right. Wow. Nah, he deserved those wounds probably.
No, I'm saying somebody gave him what would be considered defensive wounds.
Oh, yes. Yeah, definitely.
And you just wondered why that one went and took that oath, and then the Wookiee went deep into the woods.
Yeah. You know what this feels like? This feels like a Navy SEAL team that went into some foreign country and did some bullshit, and then they was going to go live in the woods for the rest of their life because they can't really face what they've done. All of them was off living outside the city, except for Soul. Soul is right there at the academy.
Right.
Like he ain't doing nothing wrong.
Yeah.
So either he didn't do anything wrong, or he doesn't believe, or he doesn't believe he did anything wrong.
But
he did something wrong.
In 5 episodes, he's had 3 opportunities to tell Osha what happened, and every time it's, "I will tell you later."
Yeah.
Now was good. Now it's perfectly fine.
Yes.
Shit's not happening right now. You can let me know what went down.
They had at least an hour on that flight, which I think took a day. You had all day.
Interstellar travel is not that fast.
On the light speed.
Right.
I'll tell you when we get back to the ship.
No, now it's good. Now it works.
Right now.
What I really wanted to see was when the 2 twins hugged, I wanted it to jar something loose and see if Osha got her memory back, by hugging her twin or something. But no, that didn't happen.
I was waiting for Osha to.
Nah.
For some reason, she can sense, but she doesn't have the powers like May. So I was just hoping that she would just reach out. I was expecting a lightsaber to go through May. I was expecting something to happen when they were
something to do with the planet. Because remember, she said, "I can sense things now." So whatever that planet is that they were on, I think it's got something to do with the planet. I don't know what, but she did say I can start sensing things now. So
and she wasn't trained to be a Jedi for 6 years. She had to have had some force powers, you know. Yeah. They probably had her floating and stuff at some point. But now I'm wondering, now that they've done the, you know, Freaky Friday switch with the clothes and everything, I wonder if the bad guy, whose name I can't remember, is going to make her his real acolyte.
Kamar.
Is he going to take her and be like, "Yo, white, all right, let's get started"?
Yeah, because
it would be crazy.
She's not dead.
No, she's not.
She's not dead.
She's not dead. Yeah.
No, neither of them are dead.
On her side that I'm not sure how she got.
Yeah, and that's the thing, you know, because they're sisters. I mean, hurt each other, yes. Kill each other, not so much.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. When they were kids, May was quite willing to kill Osho.
Was she, or is that the memory they played?
She said, "I will kill you."
She said it,
but we only see this as a flashback from May's point of view.
That's fair. Fair.
Was that what happened, or is that how they explained the fire to her to say your sister burned everything down?
Really, LaToya?
Wait, what did she say? He is fine. He looked kind of, I mean, I do like him skinny. He looked kind of skinny the whole time he was pretending to be nobody. But then all of a sudden he got biceps and triceps out of nowhere. I was like, oh.
Yeah, because when he let his arms out, you see I'm like, dude is cut because his arms, he puts his time in the gym.
Yes. He does not skip arm day. No.
Right.
No, he don't. Nah.
No. But again, I'm wondering, who is he? Because remember when they threw that when she put the light on his back to attract whatever those tree creatures were, and then towards the end, you can see that he's killed all of them, and he doesn't just fall to the ground; he floats. So, like, where the hell did dude get his power, and who taught him how to use them?
But he did say to Soul, "You don't remember me." He's had some run-ins with the Jedi before.
Yeah, he's probably had Jedi training. Probably not where Soul was located, but he's had some Jedi training because he says, "I want the freedom to use my power the way I see fit."
Right.
So,
and he doesn't. I'm surprised nobody said anything about his lightsaber. That it was
red,
the color that it was. But since the Acolyte, looking at the timeline, the Acolyte is now at the beginning, because I still steadfast on I need more Sith. I need a Sith story. I need to understand the whole Sith, how they came about, how they were destroyed by Bane. Where's Bane? Where does this Kamar fit in with the Sith? Because as of right now, there has to be the rule of two.
He might be the first Sith.
There's got to be the rule of two right now, because that's what Kamar says. He's like, I want to train somebody.
Right. I want my acolyte. So, I mean, that, and granted, he does. I don't think he would kill May, but he would definitely reprimand her in some way. That's very harmful.
He was absolutely going to kill her.
Oh, I think he'd kill her. I think he'd kill May. I think if push came to shove and he had to, he'd kill May.
And I want to understand how
he had the opportunity to kill May and didn't.
That's fair.
But it also makes you wonder why he wants to kill these 4 Jedi as well. I mean, I understand they did some shit to May later when she was young, but that's why I also think that he's done some manipulation of her mind as well, because you're going after these 4. This could have been SEAL Team 6, as far as we know, for the Jedi, and he needs them out of the way in order to make it easier
to do something else later.
LaToya, they were. They were. To me, they're related.
Yeah.
Sith and Night Sisters go hand in hand.
Yeah. Family, because they understand that rule of 2 law.
Well, wait a minute. Do they do the rule of 2? Because with that coven of witches, there were a lot more than just 2.
Well, to me, they took it and they made it their own, because they did the where one, and then they went to the power of two. You know, it's like you have the power of one, and then you have the power of two, and then that's when they gave her powers, transferred some powers into her.
The only reason I asked the question the way I asked it is because at this point, nothing that I can remember, and if I'm remembering incorrectly, somebody correct me, but nothing's been introduced yet that says there can only be two, a master and an apprentice.
Well, that's already happened. That's already happened.
Okay.
Because we have you have the Acolyte, and then it goes to
somebody say it,
the Phantom Menace. Nobody said it, but we maybe we'll get more story when we find out about Kamar.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe that all of the Sith were destroyed, and there are only a few that are out there. You'll have a master and an apprentice.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, they're scattered to the winds now. Like we saw the Jedi in their original trilogy scattered to the winds. Not many of them around. So cyclicals coming around.
Mm-hmm. That's why I said they need to do a Sith story and leave like Endor. Who the fuck cares? Who the hell cares about Endor? Nobody. We already knew about Rogue One. I don't need to know the prequel for Rogue One. That makes no sense to me. I don't give a fuck.
Rogue One is
Sith.
I love Rogue One. Don't.
Oh, I love Rogue One. I like how you give me Rogue One, that makes me understand Star Wars. But I
didn't need the backstory to that dude. No,
I don't care.
Oh yeah, no. Endor didn't need a backstory.
Yeah, right. But yeah, Rogue One was good. Yes, it was I got emotionally entangled with that movie. I thought it was great.
It's probably the first or second best Star Wars movie they've ever made.
Yeah, easily.
Mm-hmm. I would argue the only movie that might be better is The Empire Strikes Back.
Right. The Empire Strikes Back is an excellent movie because they learned how to write by the time they got to the second movie. You go back and look at the original Star Wars, it does not hold up.
I mean, Vader didn't even know the princess was his daughter.
Right. I mean, Luke didn't know that was his sister neither because they made that shit up later.
Right. George Lucas freely admits he had no idea what he was doing in the first film. And the writing was what the writing was, and later on they decided to make the three of them related.
They got high as like, let's make space cowboys, and that's what they did.
Yes, that's exactly what they did.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, Andor is good and grown. Honestly, Andor was good. And yeah, I'm sorry. I enjoy these shows that give us the backstory because it's always questions I've wanted to know the answers to.
Right. You ain't gonna never convince me that George Lucas knew what he was doing. If you kiss your sister in the first movie and then you see your sister in the third movie, nah, fuck all that.
Or they're just space hillbillies.
Spillbillies. Mm-hmm.
I mean, look. From Leia's perspective, she's trying to piss off Han because she liked this dude, but he cocky as fuck.
Go kiss the Wookiee. You ain't related to him.
She ain't know she was related to Luke, and he was the only humanoid male in the room at the time. So I get it, but again, they kind of screwed themselves. They could have put like a nurse or somebody in there to help the protocol droid.
I mean, he gay, but still, she could have kissed him.
Like I said, he didn't want no parts of that.
He didn't want no parts of that. She had a better chance of R2D2, honestly.
Oh my gosh!
An absolute mark. Yeah, to me, that's one of the best lines we've had in Star Wars so far. I am one with the Force, and the Force is with me.
But yeah, so any other comments, questions, things that we may get later on? Because this is a 10-episode season that we're getting.
Is it 10? I thought it was only 8. Hold on, let me take a look. I've got the
4. I think 4 was the halfway point.
Yeah, it's 8 episodes.
8 episodes.
I want the Jedi to have to come to grips with the bullshit that they did and realize that they created the vacuum of faith that the Sith live in. You know?
Nah, that ain't gonna happen because we got to get to the point to where when the prequel series starts, that they still feel high and mighty about themselves, so they ain't gonna learn.
Yeah, they're gonna still feel high and mighty, but there's gonna be enough people with some force powers to be like, I don't know if I trust the Jedi. Oh, hey, psst, little boy, come here. Be a dark side, be a Sith. We got pie, cake. We drink liquor over here, So
hey, little kids, get in the space van. We got candy.
Not the space van.
But see, this is why we need to go even further back than 100 years.
Wait,
I'm not saying
Mark,
we need to go all the way back to the.
Wait, Mark, no spoilers, please. Mark, we doing nothing but spoilers today, bro.
It's all spoilers, bro. We put that at the beginning of the show. Sorry, everything is spoiled. If you ain't caught up to episode 5, feel sorry for you.
To answer your question, Mark, yes, it is an excellent series so far. However, we made a post at the beginning, like James said, we spoiling shit. Close the window now.
I just hope we don't have to wait till the last episode.
Dark liquor, exactly. Dark liquor on the dark side. Man, but Hennessy and Crown over here.
Oh man.
Nah, we just they need to do that prequel for the Acolyte to show Kamar how did he become the Sith. That's what I need. I need Sith.
Some type of flashback story later on. We need something because, like you said, Simone, we look at him up until this point as like the bumbling.
Mark, go.
The window now. Close it.
You halfway through episode 1.
Hey, Mark, here's a spoiler. So
Mark, he's a twin.
Kamar is the bubbling sidekick, gopher dude to get all her supplies and everything. We don't think nothing of him. Like, what's his background? Like you said, like I hope he gets some type, even if it's a flashback.
It was a Kaiser Soze type of shit that he did.
Yes, that.
Yeah.
He is Kaiser Soze. It's just I need some type of flashback though, like how we got to this point, because before we even know that it's him, he's just there. He takes over the bar because May killed the proprietor anyway.
I got another point.
Okay.
Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon Jinn, I know this is 100 and some years later or whatever, or a long time later. They can sense a Sith in the building. Looking at this dude and just like, hey guy, how you doing? Like the fuck? What? Who? Why are their powers so bad? Why they suck so bad as Jedi?
Because they didn't know about the Sith yet.
They don't know.
They don't know what he is.
They don't know what they don't know.
Somebody
He's an unknown.
He's an unknown. Yes.
Wait a minute. No, he says to them at one point, I'm what you would call a Sith. So like,
yes, that was episode 5. Yes, that was yesterday's episode that aired. Yeah. But we're talking before that when they catch him. Yeah,
they don't know.
They know what the Sith are.
Oh yeah.
I don't think the Sith are an unknown. I don't think the Sith are an unknown.
No, I'm not saying that they're an unknown. I'm saying at the time when they first caught him and tried to like interrogate him, he was an unknown at that moment.
Okay. But then remember, all of the Sith was supposed to be destroyed.
Right.
It was in that tunnel, and according to the Jedi, they just felt like everybody was killed.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Let's take a closer look at that. When did they say all of the Sith were wiped out? I don't remember that.
That was
reading.
Nobody knew. Okay, it was.
That's
Bane
the expanded universe lore.
Bane is the one that actually did it, but the Jedi were coming too, from what I can remember from the book. The Jedi was coming as well to fight with the Sith, and Bane destroyed everybody that was in there. So the Sith, I have to go back and listen.
Is this a book from the? Is this a book from the? Is this from the pre-Disney days?
Yeah.
Remember when Disney bought Lucas, they wiped out all of that extended universe as being canon.
According to Wikipedia,
Bane's the story of Bane.
They were a specific species that are force-sensitive aliens or whatever who originated on Korriban and Zios planets. And they they're about 75,000 years older than the Republic. But the Sith Order was established around 7,000 years before the Republic, and there was a group of dark Jedi who were once members of the Jedi Order. Sought out the Sith to learn more about the dark side. So there were gray Jedis, I guess, who were like, I want to know more about this Hennessy and this weed over here. This sounds fun. And then they developed their own philosophy and power and religious training and blah, blah, blah. And they started the rule of two, but it doesn't say when, which is exclusive. Like you scout and you recruit, you chain your one, and then that one ultimately kills you eventually.
Yeah, because that's what we get in the 9 films, or actually, that's more so explained in the shown in the Clone Wars series, where the Sith apprentice kills the master, because it happens 3 times.
Yeah,
the only time they fail is when Savage and Maul go after Sidious, and he mops the floor with the both of them with no lightsaber.
They need to stop that because their numbers are never going to get any better.
Right.
I mean, that's pretty much graduation day for the Sith apprentice, killing your master. But then you pretty much have to train the person who's going to kill you.
Right. And how did they ever plan to take over if they're doing all this type of population control? Y'all need to be training 3 and 4 people at a time. Right. Numbers. Overwhelm them with numbers.
Well, it's their training because, so again, almost.
Latoya. Damn good question.
Yes.
That's a damn good question.
Once again, they can sense things all over the place, but Palpatine is looking you in your face.
That part. No one knew Palpatine was a Sith Lord. The entire Jedi Council had meetings with him numerous times in the prequel trilogy. But he invited them in. He pretty much brought them into his office, sat down, had tea and crumpets or whatnot, and just talking in their face. Yeah, the Senate wants to do this. The Senate wants to do that. And no one knew that he was pulling the strings on both ends the whole time.
He was Donald Trump.
I heard that, Joy. I ain't, you know what? What's my?
I'm not wrong.
No, she's not.
This is water. I wish it was whiskey.
How do we know it's water? It might be vodka.
Right.
Oh, trust me, it's not vodka.
Or white tequila.
Right.
It's not that either.
Well, shame on you.
I know, shame on me. It should be, but it's not. Damn it. But yeah, we don't. Because something else he said, Kamar said, he's like, why take my helmet off so you can read my emotions?
Read my mind.
No, he said read my emotions.
No, he said mind.
Okay, read my mind.
Okay.
He said mind.
Mind.
Because as soon as he said it, I was like, Magneto?
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. I was exactly what I
Magneto?
said. I was like, so is that what? No, that's not why Vader had his on.
Yeah.
But it was his face.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what the hell is so special about that material that it stops him from reading his mind?
Maybe it's lead. You know,
I mean, it's not like the Jedi were even trying to read folks' mind anyway, because like we've already pointed out, they couldn't feel his presence anywhere else up until the point where he was attacking them.
I don't know. I think Saul is the one that if he could read your mind, he would. Because remember when they captured old boy from the ship and he was blabbing, and Saul was like, "No, shut the fuck up, clear your mind, and tell me what happened."
Yeah.
Saul is the one that goes in playing mind games with people.
I mean, look, I'm not saying
and he said your energy feels familiar. He's like, you don't know me. He's like, you do seem familiar.
Yeah, Saul has run across him before.
Yeah.
Which is when he said that, what made me think it was the mother. But then I saw the arms. I was like, okay, it can't be the mother.
And again, I still go by the nobody, no dead.
Of course.
The last time we see the mother, she is now true. She is laid out on the floor, but we never see anything fall on her and burn her body. So she might still be alive and out there somewhere.
Which
no,
mother?
her body.
No, because I saw Anasea on the floor.
Right. But we never saw anything fall on her and burn up her body.
But I'm not talking about Anasea. I'm talking about the other mother.
We're talking about Mother Core.
Yeah,
Core. Mother Core.
White horny mom. Yeah.
Well, no. Well, fair. Well,
I didn't see her at all.
Both of them. My point stands for both of them. We never actually see them die.
But I also think like if the mom, especially if the black mom who's the leader of that coven was alive, she'd have come for her daughter.
Yes.
Maybe she's pulling the strings from the background. Because think about it. In episode 1, when Obi-Wan cuts Darth Maul in half and he falls down that shaft, everybody is like, well, Darth Maul is dead. And I'm like, no, because nobody know dead. And then Darth Maul shows up again later. So again, both mothers potentially could be out there pulling the strings from the background to make things happen. I personally would love if that's what happens.
Oh, that would be cool. Real good Kaiser Soze moment. Right?
Yeah, because Darth Maul is the one who starts. Does Darth Maul start Crimson Dawn, or he becomes like a key leader of that criminal sect?
Like, I want to see the true extent of both of those mothers' powers. Because something tells me they are not to be trifled with.
Oh, no. No.
I mean, the fact that the Jedi was coming to kill him anyway proves how strong they are because they were a threat.
Right. And what if she's the mother of the Black Force user from Star Wars Kenobi? Just throwing stuff out there.
Interesting. Okay.
Oh, you mean third sister?
Yes. Just throwing it out there.
I mean, she needs her own show.
I'm sure I'm grasping at straws with that one, but just what if?
George Lucas was grasping at straws when he made the show. So when he started it all. So yeah.
Absolutely, LaToya. Absolutely.
I do need more angry women with And I need people to start killing folks. Like, you know what? You got all these problems.
What do you mean start killing folks? Episode 5, every Jedi died except for Saul.
I mean, I know that, but I'm talking about Saul is right here at his neck. And she's like, no, don't kill man, fuck you, girl. This dude's dying now. Like, why is he even still alive? All the trouble, all the struggle. And you wanted to know, who he is. Does it really matter where he came from? I mean, like, I need the Jedi to get off their high horse because they kill when they want to, but then they don't kill when they need to. They needed to not take this dude out.
Yeah.
This whole series is a collection of people who didn't kill when they were supposed to. Again, wop, 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 wop.
Y'all sent in SEAL Team 6, and SEAL Team 6 got their ass kicked.
Exactly. And also, let's talk about child rearing. None of this happens if y'all don't let these two little girls weasel their way down to the front so that the Wookiee can see them in between your legs. Why y'all ain't just not hold them back? Y'all got all these
because Osha wasn't paying attention. She wanted to, and then that's
the people she walked past. Both of them girls walked past a lot of legs to get to the front and get seen.
And they touched them.
The leg out to stop your child from going. So what the fuck you doing? What was that? What was that?
They
your
imagination. They're like, you got to do that. But Osha, I want to be a Jedi. I want to be a Jedi. And then you leave. Yeah. Then you leave the order. You did all of that, child, and your ass could have stayed there with your family. Mm-hmm. I want to see the stars. I want to be a Jedi. Okay.
I mean, you could take a field trip. Something. We'll take you to another planet if you just want to go. But you don't know nothing about the
witches were not leaving the planet. They were not trying to leave the planet. They were trying to protect the coven, stay there, and just mind their business. They were not trying to leave because. Remember, they chastised both Osha and May for being out in the woods outside the city in the first episode.
Yeah.
But remember, but James, that still goes back to their being hunted.
And that's fair.
I don't think they don't want them outside the walls just because they don't want them outside the walls. It's for their protection because whether the Jedi is hunting them or not, absolutely, LaToya, that's exactly to me what they are. But whether or not it's the Jedi hunting them or the Republic, somebody is hunting that coven of witches.
Mm-hmm. And so I think the other thing to think about when we talk about the rule of 2, that's from like master to Padawan or Acolyte or whatever. Maybe the reason they were so excited about having these 2 girls is because that group was the last of all the orders and all of their Padawans or whatever, all of their apprentices, either they were the apprentice and have grown up or their master died or whatever through this hunting. And this is the last of them, Yeah,
because in episode 3, the Jedi remind them that, they're not allowed to take in children because that's pretty much how much like the Jedi, which I find hypocritical as fuck. You build your order by conscripting children who test highly on your little force sensitivity test, but you're telling this coven they can't conscript children into their coven
that they created.
Basically,
and how did you know that they had them there?
Their numbers and have them die out. Yeah.
Somebody in there is a snitch. How did you know that they even had kids? That's a good question. Since you can't sense shit around the force, you can't sense what's in your face. How do you know they have 2 kids?
Just like since we're calling them cops, they've got a CI in the coven somewhere.
Yup.
Well, no, they saw Osha and May in the woods. One of, I think, Saul or.
But why were they on that planet?
How did they know to get to the planet?
The planet, yeah, that part, yeah. So someone narked. Absolutely, someone narked.
There's an informant in the coven.
Yep. Snitches get stitches.
And
well, I mean, they all dead now, so supposedly.
What if that's why all the witches were killed, so no one would know who the informant was?
Okay.
It's possible.
It's possible.
Because
clearly, but then that just leads back to Coral because she's the only one. As far as my 2 cents is, I think Mother Coral's still alive.
Oh, I think both mothers are.
I hope so. I
would like.
I'm hoping to say is alive, but I mean, they made a point to show her prominently on the floor.
Yeah,
that's fair. That is a fair point.
This also goes back to we only see this through Osha's eyes, and if Soul messed with her head, maybe he made sure she saw that so that she would never pine for her family.
That's a good point.
But she couldn't give that up, and he kept telling her to let it go, and she wouldn't.
About this show. The Jedi are evil, women, blood. 100%. 100%.
Yeah, the evil incels love to call anything woke just because it has people of color in it.
Yeah.
Not serving and not being sidekicks.
100%, Latoya, 100%.
But as someone posted on Twitter when the show first started, everyone's upset because the lack of white straight men in this show. Well, in the beginning, it says that a long time ago they were fighting wars, and now we're before that point, and there are no wars. It's a time of peace.
So you don't need.
Look who's not here.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it's all Gucci right now.
Except for the damn Jedi running around hunting people down.
I mean,
and that's it. Nothing was bad on that planet until the Jedi arrived.
You know what? Extending this cop analogy, they're working for the Republic right now.
Yep.
They are in Gucci with the Republic. Everything is cool. And of course, we can say that the Sith infiltrated the Republic, and you got Palpatine and a major force power. But they were all for enforcing the rules of the Republic until the Republic turned on them.
Yep. And Joy, one more thing to add to that. Remember, they keep wanting to not report what's going on to the Senate because they're worried about them saying, well, one of your own did this, so what good are you?
Right.
Because it's not like Sith are known to the vast public.
Right.
Which is one of the reasons they're able to come to power, because they keep trying to convince everybody that they're not a problem. No, this Sith was no Sith. This is a rumor. It's fairy tale kids made up to go to bed. No, it's a boogeyman. It's nothing.
Because
shit, Palpatine is a Sith. Yeah.
All the general populace knows is, this person was using the Force. Must be a Jedi.
Yep.
Because that's all they know in the known universe. Everybody who uses the Force is a Jedi. They don't know that they're just Force-sensitive people who are not Jedi or Sith.
Yeah, even Yoda and them didn't say anything because once they killed that, what you call it?
Coven.
Oh my God, I can't believe it. The Sith, the apprentice. Once they killed that apprentice, there was always 2, never 1.
Oh yeah, when they killed Darth Maul, at the end of the first episode 1, And they trying to figure out who did they, between him and Mace Windu, trying to figure out if they killed the master or the apprentice, and then we get the tight zoom in on Palpatine.
Yeah, and they didn't say nothing then. They kept it to themselves.
I mean, hell, even if we go look at not Clone Wars, James,
Rebels.
what was the Star Wars show? Yeah, Rebels. Remember that one episode where Ezra was trying to learn? Was it a moose, half moose, half human kind of dude?
So yeah, he was learning a lot from like animals or whatever. For whatever reason, Ezra was highly in tune with animals.
Yeah. All these other force-sensitive beings are out there, but the Jedi just want you to think we're the only ones who can do this.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
True.
And what happens to the kids that don't become Jedis?
They just wash out of the academy like OSHA did and become space necks. Or tech necks, excuse me.
Or they walk away like Ahsoka.
Yeah, just walk into the woods one day like I'm out.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm gonna try to live my life peacefully without being a Jedi.
What if Ahsoka is the start of the Great Jedi becoming canon?
I mean, that'd be great. Is just after everything that is established canon.
Yeah.
I mean, Mace Windu is gray, isn't he?
Well, no, because the Great Jedi technically don't exist. The Great Jedi are a fan-created class of Jedi.
But Mace Windu has a purple lightsaber. He can do whatever he wants. George Lucas actually told him that you can do it. Sam, you can do whatever you want. He's like, I want a purple lightsaber. I bet.
But did you
specifically red and blue?
But did you see the interview?
What about the orange?
He had a purple lightsaber.
Wait, what?
Did you see the interview when he talked about why he had the purple lightsaber?
Because he wanted it.
Well, yeah.
He wanted to, because when they're doing that high shot on everybody down there fighting, there was no way to identify him. So he wanted the purple lightsaber so that he could point and be like, "That's me right there."
Nice. I like it.
Which is fair because all other Jedi use blue and green.
Right.
And yellow, apparently.
At that point, well, yeah, yellow in this series because I mean this is the first time we've seen yellow in Visions.
Well, all we need now is orange and pink, and we have a whole set of Power Rangers.
We have orange.
Orange is what Yord had, wasn't it?
Orange was what the two had in Ahsoka.
Because Yord was yellow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yord was yellow, and somebody in Ahsoka did have orange. Yes.
There's another thing. There's another thing. I have burnt my hair with a curling iron before. That is a scent that lingers.
Okay.
This chick just whooshed off all her hair with a hot laser. And you telling me he couldn't smell that shit when she rolled up on him?
He didn't know what it was.
Okay, what you talking about?
Nobody but black people know that smell.
Joy, you bringing in.
Boy, you making stuff up. You making stuff up, Joy. Doesn't exist.
But Saul being so great, he sucks. You know?
Y'all making stuff up.
They
hair burning smell. What are you talking about?
Thank you, Latoya. Baloney.
I feel like y'all reaching.
And how's she gonna get that perfect haircut at the exact right height just from leaning forward?
Right. Just from looking
forward. But you know what?
I'm like, was she gonna slit her throat? I didn't know what the hell she was getting ready to do.
Bro, it should just been little dread snakes all on the ground around the girl.
I mean, this is the chick who killed a Jedi with no lightsaber.
True.
Just saying.
She was a master of deception, though. I mean, all he had to do was move her bangs.
Or read her mind.
Yes.
Because he clearly plays with people's minds.
Right.
I maintain that he knows.
Galen and Shin.
Not an 8x5, Latoya. Really? An 8x5? Really? That's wild. I'm gonna start saying that. I used to call them 6F.
I had to look them up. I couldn't remember their names. Balin and Shin had the orange
lightsabers,
lightsabers, and they weren't. They're like we're not Jedi. Ray Stevenson.
But yeah, it does stand to reason that you should not be able to conscript every person with talent basically into the armed forces of the Jedi just because they have talent, you know. And when they're really young, how is this any different from what they did during the second wave of the Clone Wars when they started just stealing children off every planet to make them clones for the army?
Yeah, stormtroopers.
Stormtroopers.
Replace the clone troopers. Yeah. But yeah, they
and
did
plus
it.
And plus, I'd wager it was too damn expensive to go make more clones.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Stealing children is free.
Stealing children is free.
I don't know if, well, because there's a lot of shows that are dealing with the whole cloning thing, and Ahsoka was dealing with had a B storyline. No, not Ahsoka. Andor had a storyline in which they had a doctor who worked with the cloning project, and basically he got tricked into revealing himself, thinking that he wanted to get back in good with the separatists or whatever, and they arrested him and threw him in jail, and they gonna F with him a little bit. So they wishy-washy with the whole cloning thing.
Well, but think about it. When you go back to the prequel, trilogies,
mm-hmm.
and I forget which episode it is, we find out about that cloning facility.
2.
That was a high-tech, polished ass facility.
Yeah, because the Caminos.
It's like when you go to the shop and you take your Mercedes into the shop. Ain't no oil on that floor.
No, it's clean. It smells like lemon pledge
on that floor.
Yeah,
so
because Caminos had perfected it.
That shit was not cheap.
No, but when the entire society is geared towards the advancement of science, like the Kaminoans were, that's what you get. Which, unfortunately, by the time we get to, say, episode 4, the Kaminoans no longer exist.
Right.
And why is that?
Well, because in over the course of Clone Wars and the Bad Batch, the Empire wipes them out.
In summary, Sith all day, all night.
Again, what does it say underneath?
It was a Sith Lord who wiped out the Kaminoans.
Let the hate flow through you.
I got a lot of hate to give.
Joy, why do you think that James and that particular group of friends call me what they call me?
Yeah, true. True. Ooh, I'm gonna be Furiosa.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Enjoy me, Joy. I am the Dark Lady of the Sith.
Word. I'm gonna be like, we gotta come up with Darth name. I want to be Darth. Are you serious?
Oh my gosh.
Wait, what did it say?
Oh, she just said that she resonates with
the Sith.
Word. Yes.
I think we all do. Mm-hmm. At this point, from this show alone, yeah, we all do. Because it's like to be a Sith, you don't have to murder everybody you see, but you will. The Sith is the fuck around and find out crew.
I think we're probably more gray Jedi than we are Sith, because we're not just going to intentionally go fuck with other people, but if you fuck with us, we're going to fuck you up.
No, I'm straight Sith. I just want because I just feel like it. You
I'm
looked
like
at me wrong.
Lamar level Sith. Like sometimes you got to pop out and show Jedi. You know?
Gray Jedi are pretty much like the Guardians in Destiny. You got your light powers and then you got your dark powers. Just use them both.
Oh no, I want to be a Sith. Oh, full darkness. Darkness, Everyone. Darkness is spreading.
I had a question. When the mothers was teaching the girls,
mm-hmm.
and then they heard something.
Mm-hmm.
When she went out and she looked to see who was there, and that was Kuro. I paused it because I needed to see what was there.
Mm-hmm.
Was there anything there? You know how when they show things, there's supposed to be something
like in the background that
it's like I couldn't see anything.
Not that I know of.
Do you remember about when in the episode that happened?
After she was training the girls and she was like, block me, and May blocked her. And then the other mother was like, I expect more from you, Osha. And then they heard something.
So before the ceremony.
Before the ceremony.
Okay.
Yeah. I would definitely go back and check that out.
I'm actually trying to scroll through it now to find it. That's why I was asking about what time.
Yes, is when the mother was showing them the
power one,
string, and the two girls was fighting with each other.
I mean, they're siblings.
Oh yeah, they were supposed to be paying attention, and they was
and they wasn't paying attention
in the background. Yeah,
but yeah, this is in like the first 10 minutes because it's at they start fighting at 8 minutes and 19 seconds or so. They're fighting. She just pushed them to the ground. Come on, give me some.
And then she tells May to block, or both of them. Osha is just scared.
Yeah, because she tries to knock him down, but then Osha gets behind May. May is the only one blocking, and it's interesting because looking at this right now, I can see the enjoyment on May's face, and I see the fear on Osha's face. Yeah, I didn't catch that the first time, but yeah, looking at it now, she clearly is enjoying this, and Osha is afraid. And yep, she expects more. Come on, where's the scene she's talking about?
Darn.
But she walks, and then she's just looking.
And is she looking at anything, or is she like, sometimes you unfocus your eyes to
the background. She's looking.
So the only thing I'm looking at now is she's looking out into just looking to see. There's part of the structure on her side. There's a catwalk. There's some machinery, but there's nothing.
That's what I'm saying. Is there something that we're missing?
Maybe she caught one of the Jedi sneaking in.
I don't know if she was legitimately looking at anything, or if sometimes you hear a sound and you look around to see where the sound is coming from, but you don't necessarily see anything. Yeah. I'm wondering if there was just the idea of her trying to sense where the threat was coming from without necessarily seeing anything.
I think there may have been a Jedi spying on them.
Right.
And that particular mother sensed it, and now she's like, "All right, I know you out there somewhere. I just can't see
you." Right.
And
they most likely saw.
Huh?
Most likely saw.
Like how you see a symbol, and you're like, "Oh, that was in this show." Yeah, that's what I was looking for to see.
Okay.
Whatever planet that they were on could that have been in another show?
Nothing really stands out, but if you want to go back and look at it for yourself, the timestamp I'm looking at right now is 9 minutes and 10 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, I paused it and I'm like, I couldn't see anything. I'm like, to me, it looked like 2 feet. I don't know. I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
Because it's like how you guys saw the Watcher, and I couldn't find him.
He was like half screen.
You like, I see the Watcher, and I'm like, okay, where the fuck? And I'm going slow as hell. I don't see the Watcher. I could not find him.
But at least the Watcher don't do shit. Like, we know he ain't going to do shit unless it's absolutely, positively, 1,000% necessary to get involved. He literally just going to watch.
Is Loki a Watcher now?
No,
Loki is now the god of time. Is the god of story.
Shit together.
Hold shit together.
That's his official title.
Yeah.
I mean, he is technically holding shit together, though. he did go out there in that room and grab both sides and sit in the chair like.
Yeah, that's it. The god of stories. That's his new title.
What was the other? Damn it, the 6 rings, or what the hell was that?
Yeah,
the 10 ring thing.
Yeah.
Shang-Chi.
Could Loki be linked to that?
How are you making this link?
Because the time. Loki now can control time. He has all of those threads, and the 10 rings, there's a beacon. Who's that beacon?
Oh, yeah. We still don't know who's sent the signal through the rings. We may not get an answer to that anytime soon.
Well, wait, but aren't the 10 rings alien technology?
Are they?
I thought they were.
I thought the cuffs were alien technology too.
The bangles, yes.
I'm sorry. Yeah, the bangles belong.
The bangles are. The rings we don't know, because at the end of Shang-Chi, no one was able to determine what they were.
Well, no, Shang-Chi doesn't have the 10 rings. Shang-Chi has the bands. The 10 rings belong to the Mandarin.
No, they belong to Shang-Chi now. Remember,
not the rings.
What are you talking
Shang-Chi has the bands. And you
The
know what? That's another.
They're still rings.
I feel like Mac is talking about finger rings.
Yes.
Those are never introduced. They introduced the 10 rings as the things that he wore on his wrist.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the Mandarin.
They were like floating around, and then
those are the 10 rings.
The 10 rings was the
right. I get what you're saying, but those things that the Mandarin wore on his wrist, those are the 10 rings.
The 10 rings.
I know you want the traditional, what we're used to from the comic books on the fingers. We're not getting those.
Right. Because they didn't want nobody looking like a pimp on stage.
Well, no. What we're calling the 10 rings are not rings.
Okay.
They're bangles.
Yeah,
rings.
When you say 10 rings, I think Mandarin, and in the 10 rings with the Mandarin, those are because they come from a crashed alien spaceship.
I mean, they could have been rings for that alien.
The movie that we're talking about with Shang-Chi, technically those aren't rings. So
they are rings. They call them rings.
But
they're bracelets.
They're bracelets.
Okay.
They don't call them bracelets. They call them the 10
right.
rings.
They call them the 10 rings.
For another species,
I mean, I can call a necklace a choker. It's where it goes, you know. So we are violently agreeing.
The father and the mother, they called it the 10 rings.
Did.
I know they're not traditional.
Made out tomato.
Yeah,
they're not rings in the traditional sense that you are thinking of. I understand that, but they are the 10 rings.
Right.
And if you want to get that technical, the Mandarin is the one that was in jail. He was fake. That wasn't really.
I'm talking comic books.
No, we're talking movies. We do movies.
I'm in the movie.
I call what you're reading.
Mandarin in the
movie. The movie is called Shang-Chi and the Legend of the 10 Rings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Furious.
Now he mad.
I'm not the 10 things.
I'm just saying.
He's ignoring. How you gonna ignore us on camera, bro?
You hear me?
He's looking up something.
Oh gosh. Well, he can send it later.
Back to this.
I already did. It's in the chat for the show. Damn it.
Yeah, this is what happens when we get together. We don't know how to act.
Not at all.
I mean, I blame Joy.
I take that. I'm an agent of chaos. I'm an Aquarius and everything.
She is a Sith. Chaos.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So since we're coming up on time, final thoughts, everyone. Teresa.
I am enjoying this show. You know, I don't ask too much of anything, but that it keep my attention and that it's entertaining. And because I don't know all of the lore, 15 million books and 75 movies and 3 backstory series. I can't keep up with all that.
Right.
But I am entertained. I am, on the edge of my seat waiting for the next one to come out. I just hope they don't wait till the last episode for Soul to say what it is that actually went down.
Now, you know that stuff's going to happen.
I know, but,
Joy.
I'm just thinking about what Teresa just said. And what if Kamar, whatever his name is, Kamar, what's his name?
Kamir.
Kamir knows the true story. And now that he has Osha in his grasp, again, he's had an apprentice this whole time. He's been training May, but what if the betrayal that Osha feels when she finds out that Soul lied to her whole life and he actually was part of the people that killed her family, what if that drives her to become his true acolyte?
That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah. I've heard somebody else thinks that might be the case as well.
I want to see her go to the dark side, and then, yeah. And then the sisters team up. Oh, buddy cop movie. Yeah.
Okay.
Simone.
I I'm enjoying it. I love it. The whole timeline. The only thing that I don't like in the whole timeline is Andor. That's it. You can just click that one out of the timeline, delete it. Everything else, I'm enjoying.
Furious.
So one thing I'll say, Teresa, your point about not knowing all the lore and the history and whatnot from the novels, one of the quote unquote good things, depending on how you look at it, with Disney buying Lucas is all that stuff you're talking about that you don't know. Disney said it's no longer canon.
That it's not canon.
It doesn't matter. It's cool stuff to know and talk about with like old head nerds, but Disney is like, no, we don't care about that stuff. The only thing that matters is what's on TV and in movies. So you don't even have to worry about knowing that stuff because it's not even canon anymore.
That's all I pay attention to anyway.
Yeah.
What we make up, and this is what we say. This is what we say.
Right.
Yeah. You kissed his sister. No, he didn't.
I, for one, love this show. I love the fact that it doesn't have as much action as you would expect. But I was also one of the few people who were vocally in love with the slow storytelling in WandaVision. They're doing a lot of groundwork. They're doing a lot of world building. They're telling a story, but they're doing it through environment and like Reggie and I were arguing about this the other day. The espionage and the intrigue element to this series, to me, just makes it even better. I like that there's not as much action. It's storytelling, world building. You got to pay attention. You got to really watch what happens, and it's just wonderful. And I want more Star Wars stories like this, and I want more Black women in charge because I love seeing all the Black. I want more, damn it.
Yeah.
May the odds be ever in your favor, Rue. We want you.
I agree with everything said here. I like the fact that this show, because it takes place before any established visual media that we have, even if you're not a fan, this is a good series to get on the ground floor with, because there's nothing that you have to worry about. Do I need to watch? Nah.
No,
you can literally start with this show.
It's everything.
From a chronology standpoint, this is number one.
Right.
Yeah, it's number
this
one.
takes place before everything else that's out there. All 11 movies and Christmas special and 7 cartoons.
Yep.
So this predates all of that. And yeah, wonderfully done is an understatement. I don't have enough platitudes to give this show. Like, it just positive all around. Like, I've got zero complaints. I like that it's actually keeping me guessing, because again, like we discussed earlier, we all thought one of the mothers was the master of May, and come to find out it's Lackey dude over here the whole time. Like Joy said, he pulled the Kaiser Sose. Like, okay, I like that. I like that I didn't see that coming. So,
unless she's using a spell and as a shapeshifter,
which is a stretch.
That's a stretch.
Look here. You take your Mystique morph thought process and you go somewhere. Oh, man. So that's going to do it for our recap of the first 5 episodes of The Acolyte. We will recap the entire show next month, along with some other things to be determined. Most likely Deadpool 3.
Yeah.
Since that'll be out by the time we convene next month. And maybe we might sneak a little bit of The Boys in there, because that'll be done by that time as well.
I gotta get caught up.
I still haven't watched Generation V, so I'm behind on The Boys.
They make a Gen V reference in this season too.
I heard.
I haven't started yet.
Let's just say, it's just as wild as every other previous season. So
I can imagine.
I mean, I don't know how I could get wilder. It's the
Hero-gasm is still the best thing ever.
Wait, what's the best thing, James?
Hero-gasm from last season, still the best thing ever.
Yes, I haven't seen last season yet.
Oops.
I gotta get caught up.
They do dick jokes in the worst way. the worst way.
If you mean by all the time the worst way, then yes.
I had stopped watching it, and they said that there's a black female superhero that they brought on, which made me go back to watch it.
Sister Sage.
Yeah, that's why I want to watch it to see.
Yeah, she's killing the season.
You didn't see the Juneteenth ads they did with Sister Sage?
Yes. I will say that the marketing PR team for that, as far as keeping them in the social media, as far as what's happening in the real world and correlating the show to the things that's happening in the world, bang up job. Yeah, them people need raises because they are always on point with the crazy, especially the dude who always does the news spots like he's Fox News host or whatever, and they throw those things out on YouTube every so often. It's great. Well, again, that's our show for the evening. See y'all next month.
And I'm making an Acolyte. That's my next cosplay.
Jedi's ain't shit.
Let the hate flow through you.
Good night, everyone.
So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will.
If this the land of the free, it was a freedom then. When they annexed Hawaii and called it Cedar Lands, without any type of payment and no signing off. Called themselves the Republic in 1894. 1.2 million acres overtaken from the native Hawaiians. When they resisted, the West retaliated in violence and erasure. The Hawaiian language is banned as part of colonialism's plan to expand, yeah.
Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe as a part of their ongoing war with Asia. Used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. No work out for all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. We will.
So if we put Hawaii into perspective, well, Black and Asian history is interconnected. Considering the fight with the Pacific, then of course versus Asia, they was treated as a middleman for war, but didn't let the Western colorism run its course. Cause dark skin was a sign of dignity to core. The land was taken in the name of capitalism, when prior to it was an actual kingdom. Clap back at the system.
Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe as a part of their ongoing war with Asia. Used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. No work out for all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. We will.